rise as natural monuments. Their acts, regal and commanding, capture the noble essence of the land spirit animals. This emblem, this seal of Ambazonia, is no mere insignia. It is the beacon that illuminates the path to shared prosperity. It is an oasis of unity in a world parched by discord, a visual whisper of a nation's promise, echoing across generations. Every curve, every symbol within the emblem tells the story of Southern Cameroons, an epic scripted by the enduring strength and unity of its communities. Each page imbued with the hopes and enduring spirit of its people. Sovereign silhouette, the emblem of Ambazonia.
Yes, greetings to the people of Ambazonia. Today, the 10th of January 2024. I am glad that we are here again today and to look at the current events that are making our history. So that Ambazonians who, through ignorance, have remained and have tried to remain in their ignorance should not get up tomorrow and have the people who are knowledgeable blamed that they did not tell them. And with that introduction, I want to say Happy New Year 2024, the year of stability, the year of focus, as announced by our president, Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome. Last year, in our historical exploits, a lot was done. A lot was done. And like they always say that diplomacy is silent and only comes out when the results are there. So it happened last year in the quest of our going to Boya. Even though it did not go without a lot of distractors, a lot of corporate workers for La Republique, yet they did not succeed in their mission. Why did they not succeed in their mission? And why will they not succeed in their mission? The answer is very simple. It's because an average Ambazonian has come to the realization and has agreed, knowingly or unknowingly, willingly or unwillingly, that this battle is not our battle. This battle is God's battle. I mean, an average Ambazonian has agreed and has believed that this battle in which we find ourselves is not our battle, but it is God's battle. And a few days ago, that was practically on Monday, that was day before yesterday, I took the time off to give a detailed explanation to the people of Ambazonia and to the televiewers of this ABC Amba TV why we are not trusting in the God of the Israel you think is what we are looking for. No, that's not the God we are going after. The God of Israel that the Ambazonian people are praying is not the God of the people of Netanyahu with all that they are doing. That is not the God that we are praying to. And in that episode, I want you to get it very clear. I explained very, very clearly that when we talk of the God of Israel, we are talking about the spiritual Israel. For your information, if you did not know, I want you to know and to note today that there are two Israelites, two Israels. Permit me, two Israels. And who and what are these two Israels? These two Israels are the physical or the carnal Israel, and the second Israel is the spiritual Israel. And I will be talking so much about the spiritual Israel. The spiritual Israel is the Israel that has actually been named, and we are named, of which Ambazonia is actually running after. Ambazonia is after the spiritual Israel. How did the spiritual Israel come about? How did it come about? I underline to you that in the days of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it was a physical Israel. And this physical Israel actually came in the days when God was looking for a man. And he said he found grace. Abraham found grace on the side of God. And when Abraham found grace in the sight of God, he went ahead to produce a seed that was to be the bearers of good news here on this planet Earth. But unfortunately, they did not follow God the way they were expected and the way they were supposed to follow God. And because they did not follow God in that way, God now decided to bring in somebody who was going to do away with the physical Israel, not wiping them out per se, but who was going to bring in another Israel, and that Israel was going to include everybody. Because if you look at it, you will discover that when God told Abraham, look at the stars, can you count them? That is how your seed is going to be. That seed was not only going to come from the physical Israel, that seed was going to come from the spiritual Israel. And that spiritual Israel is what Ambazonians are talking about. That spiritual Israel is where and who the Ambazonians are praying to. They are asking this God of the spiritual Israel to step in and to do something for Ambazonia. Now, again, I said that if you are carnal, you may not understand this deep rooted spiritual exegesis of who Israel is. So, when we talk of the God of Israel, we are not talking about the God of the physical Israel there in Jerusalem as physical. Yes, he is, but then the God we are praying to is not that God, because that God of Israel became the God of all who will believe on the Lord Jesus Christ to be their God. So you become the Israel of God. And remember, Israel is the name of an individual who was a crook, who was a thief, who was an armed robber, who was a twister, and God changed him. And when God changed him, he now put his name, the Beloved. And that is why you and I today, we have the opportunity to belong to the Beloved of God, who is Israel. And that Beloved of God, who is Israel, is for everybody that has said, Jesus, come into my heart, take over my life, be my Lord and Savior. If you have ever done that and you became somebody that is now under the leadership of this God Almighty, then automatically you become the Israel of God. And so we, the Ambazonian people who have believed in the Lord Jesus Christ, We now have God our Father as our spiritual leader. And that God is the God of the Israel. The Israel is the one that I am talking about, the spiritual Israel. I'm sure that so far you have understood a little bit of this explanation before we dive into what I want you to understand today in our Amba history. Now, before we get into that, please, I want to remind you that my brother is in the house. And he is saying, now, Mr. Pastor, in our Amba history today, are you not going to let me say something? No, brother. Come in, tell the Ambazonian people that truly, truly, he knows my name. He knows the name of Ambazonia. Let's get over there and listen to our brother for a minute or two to tell us how he knows our name. Reverend, please come in. God bless you.
Almighty Father, Papa, now you love me so, and you know my name. I give you glory. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. You know my name, oh Daddy, yeah. You know me, you know my name. I can see your hand in my life. Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my heart. Lord, I feel your love over me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the below. Abba Father, you know my name. Papa, you know me. Yeah. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yeah, yeah. Jesus, your love, now oh. My master, your kindness, now wonder oh. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. Jesus, you say I be a picking, no. Jesus, you say your love go cover me. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I look around, now you are the pillow.
Very good, my brother. Thank you very much for coming in to tell the Ambazonian people that he is there and he knows the name of Ambazonia. That is the person, and that is what I'm talking about. Now, beloved, I told you that the Ambazonian people in this year 2024 have come up with a theme which is called Focus by our president. And this focus that our president did mention and talked about is what we want to fully emphasize and rely on. And we have discovered that there are a lot of people that will not want to allow us to focus and be stable. We want to inform all of you that we have determined we will be focused and we will be stable. in that all distractors, they have their own part and they have their own page. Now we'll come in here and tell you exactly what our history has been and what it is. Remember, I earlier told all the Ambazonian people that on this platform, on our Amba history, we shall be taking current events that are actually making history, jamming them together, bringing them together to make sure that we'll give you a coherence of what is going on. Now, let me just retract a little bit. Before the 31st of December 2023, our president came out with the Ambazonian team, that is the cabinet, because the government is fully restored. And because of the full restoration, on the 7th of December, which is a historical event that actually took place in Ambazonia, and it's on record, the cabinet, that's the presidency, together with the parliament, the National Assembly of Ambazonia, they came together. There was a proposal of a bill to be passed in the parliament so that the president can sign it into law. And that's how Ambazonians are working, because they have gotten back the spirit and the flow of what was happening in Ambazonia before. I call them intruders. Before they came in and they tried to change us, and they change our system and change our government and change the way we carry out governance in Ambazonia. So at that time, there was a joint come together with the civil society, with the three arms of the government, the legislature, the executive, and of course, the judiciary. Then, of course, I've told you the civil society. They all came together, looking back into the Constitution and looking back into what has been happening over the years. They discovered, which I will tell you, that this discovery was just the veil that our Heavenly Father, God, opened so that the Ambazonian people can see through. After the turmoils that La République and France had used every means to exhaust us and to make sure that they get a couple of people to come in, give them thumbs up, and then agree with them, sit on a round table in one restaurant or in one hotel, sign pieces of paper and say, hooray, Ambazonia and La République are now one. The scramble for that to happen, it did not happen, because they wanted to complete what Dr. Jongu Foncha, Endele, and the rest of the people did not do in Fumban, because there is no article or what they call treaty union to say that we are one with La Republic of Cameroon. So they have been looking for a means for that to happen in this generation. But they didn't know that there are some people who have eagle's eyes. And with these eagle eyes, they are not dealing just in the physical, they are dealing very much in the spiritual. And the spiritual in two different situations has the physical, the bad spiritual and the good spiritual. The bad spiritual is the evil spirit that wants Ambazonians to be under bondage, under the guise of ignorance. Because the devil, first of all, fools you and makes you to get into contracts and sign agreements. And at the end of the day, he opens your eyes when you are too far gone. And so this evil genius came in, fragmented the so-called interim government at that time, which was one of the biggest mistakes, not really a mistake, but a coverage that God gave to the real Ambazonian people, so that the revelation of the wicked people that La Republic can quickly and easily buy over to manifest themselves. And they manifested. And when they manifested themselves, what happened? God now called all the Ambazonian people, the civil society, the National Assembly, the legislative assembly, and the executive assembly. They all came together, and then a bill was put in to be signed into law. And that bill proposed that if our restoration, which effectively took place on the 1st of October 2017 by President Ayuk Tabe at that time, to make us go back to the rulership and leadership of Endele and Gomjoa, Endele, Foncha, and Gomjoa, before Gomjoa was pushed out of the office illegally by the Republic of Cameroon. If we say we have restored our government, which existed in that 1954, from that time, then why should we sit behind and we are getting a name that does not reflect that government? That government was not interim. And before this knowledge came to the people of Ambazonia, La Republique, in their usual way, had stepped in, multiplied, duplicated, inflicted, and created so many mushroom interim government, to the point that they now started shouting themselves that created those governments. They now started shouting, to whom can the international community talk to? To whom can the international community talk to? They, at the end of the day, when they discovered that they were now succeeding according to them, God said, okay, on the 7th of December, the big bang happened when history was brought into limelight, and we are now living the history. For those who did not know, on the 7th of December 2023, the president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, the former British Southern Cameroons, signed into law changing the name or bringing the real name of the Federal Republic of Southern Cameroons to, which is Ambazonia. He brought that name to be the real name, not interim, because interim had been polluted, and interim is found nowhere in the books of the United Nations. The European Union, the United Nations, the United States, and other governments of the world, they don't know what is interim. They know governments that have been recognized by the United Nations. So these governments already know the governments. And in the archives of the United Nations, they have the Southern Cameroons issue, which for now they have not totally decolonized, or they have not given the people's desires, they have not given their self-determination, and they know that there was a fake union that was going on, and that is why in 2010, the then president of the United Nations, a no-nonsense man, a man that fears God, I don't know who his God is, but a man that loves the truth, he stuck his neck and brought, during the centenary of La République du Cameroun, and brought La République du Cameroun a gift in their 50th anniversary of their independence, 1st of January 1960. And I don't remember when this president came to La République du Cameroun, but I am sure it's on the 1st of January 2010. He brought two maps. I said, hey, Mr. President, even though you are laying clemency over a nation that is called Ambazonia, Southern Cameroons, this is their map, and this is your own map. So I want to give you a gift and to remind you that Southern Cameroons, by then our name had not yet changed to Ambazonia. Now, Southern Cameroons, had been changed? Yes, it had been changed because Godinjinka started fighting this fight in 1984. I mean, he fought all alone when La Republique completely seceded from the Federal Union. That was not even a union. That was just Njumba, just kind of, joining, trying to see if we can live together. So the president of the United Nations, I just wish that Guterres, I know that many of them, as the great God and the politician of the world had said, that don't accept gifts because the gift will blind your eyes. I do not really know, and I cannot say with affirmity, that Guterres accepted a bribe. I want to pretend to think that he did not know. But Mr. Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, your colleagues like Kofi Annan and others stood their grounds and did something to alleviate the suffering people who are suffering, not ignorantly, but innocently, while they are not the cause, but because you have refused to stay your grounds and to tell the truth to the whole world that is watching and that is listening. So, Mr. Guterres, I want to let you know that the maps that were presented by our predecessor to Paul Biya in 2010 has not changed. The maps are still there. And the United Nations position on this situation in the archives has not changed. The United Nations made a mistake by accepting to push a bone down the throat of the Ambazonian people. And the Ambazonian people said, no, we will not accept this bone to go down our throat. So please, the time has come for the bone to be removed. We try to swallow it willingly. So we want it to be removed willingly, without any fight. And I've always told the Ambazonian people and the people of the world that according to the stance of our president, Dr. Samuel Sako, his stance is that we should get to the table with La Republique. He does not want any one person to shed his blood for us to get our freedom. No, he doesn't want that. Neither does he want any person in La Republique du Cameroon to die. No, he doesn't want that. But because La Republique has decided to obey an oppressor who is there only for her survivor, that's France, because La Republique is supplying them with raw materials and doesn't care whose blood and whom they kill. So, Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia decided that we were going to stand up to defend ourselves, because defense, self-defense, is a legal right from God Almighty, then from all the governments of the world. And so, in our quest, La Republique came in this vigor to try to destabilize us. And they have done everything possible to do that. But because we have trusted that God is the person we are going after, our history is being written straight. In that, on the 7th of December, a bill was passed, and this bill changed the name from interim to the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, and was signed into law in the presence of all the people that matter in Ambazonia. And of course, the international community knows about it. There was a coverage about the signing and bringing in the name that we had answered and we are answering. And so, Ambazonians, we are now in that name, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And because we have gotten our name, just like Dahomey was changed into Benin, and some other nations around the world had their names in their proper appellation. So we took the Federal Republic of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia and we put it into a law. And when that was restored, the Southern Cameroonian people, who actually now are Ambazonians, decided that all the organs were going to be put back in place as they were. The House of Chiefs, not the fake thing that La Republique is doing, a copyright from the people of this British Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. The people of Ambazonia. La Republique is trying to do a copyright, but it has not worked, and it's not working. They pretend and bring some people who call themselves chiefs, who have deserted their shrines, and they are now languishing as IDPs in La République du Cameroon because they are siding with the evil. They are siding with the oppressor. And when you side with the oppressor, definitely you will be oppressed. So, Ambazonians, our history continues in that after the signing, our House of Chiefs, the real House of Chiefs, was restored. But at this moment, because of the persecution and the killing squad of La République du Cameroon in our land, our real chiefs and real funds, who are the custodians of our culture, are hiding in different places. Yes, because if they sit and stand for the truth, La République will kill them. And they have resurrected their killing machine and empowered him. And because this guy loves money and can dance to the tune of the devil as their colonial Ambazonian origin, I don't know whether Atangaji is really from Ambazonia. As Atangaji said, all of them who are following the devil, are out to make sure that they kill. And unfortunately, they have recruited a lot of Ambazonians, some of them whose real origin is doubted, like Ayabache, we doubt if he is actually from Mancon. Now, he is working hand in gloves with La République du Cameroon. An average Ambazonian knows that. He comes out to talk a lot of big grammar and long speeches, but going nowhere. Only for him to turn around, kidnap the people of Ambazonia, put them under oppression, give them, task that he cannot handle, call it liberation tax. I don't know what they are doing with that nonsense, and then goes around to kidnap our illustrious, hard-working Ambazonians. With the killing squad of La République du Cameroon through the B, they have joined in hands and they are doing the same thing. And today I heard somebody came out, I was talking. Let me tell you something, Ambazonians. Amba, our history is the one that is very sensitive and very clear. And we have studied the gimmicks and the games of La République du Cameroon for a very long time. Our fathers started studying, drop it down to us, and a fool studying a situation in 50 years, and you cannot have an insight, it means that you are really from La République du Cameroon. Because what they know is drink their beer, cram a few things that France has told them to do, and continue in that oppression. And France will only teach them wickedness and evil. And that's what they're perpetrating. But an average Ambazonian has an eagle's eye and a very wise understanding. And so we do understand when La Republique is promoting the ones that he thinks that tomorrow they can easily and quickly sign a deal with, they put that person ahead. Have you ever heard La Republique talk about President Sako? You think President Sako is not doing anything that is harmful to La Republique of Cameroon? They know that if they publicize him, many people will go after him. So they pick up their colleagues, those who are working and have signed a pact with La Republique, and they bring them ahead. And they pretend to call them names. But meanwhile, it's an agreement. Oh boy. Have you ever gone to the courtroom and see the opposite lawyers discussing, talking? But immediately after the court session, you know what happens? They go and sit down there and drink a bottle of nonsense, and they laugh at you. Say, look at these ones. Instead of settling their matter, they come and give us money. We'll deal with them. But meanwhile, at the podium, they were really exchanging words that you think that they are angry. No, they're not angry. It's a game plan. And La Republique thinks that that game plan that the courts and the lawyers do, that we, the Ambazonians, we are stupid. We are not stupid. So, Ambazonian, I want to tell you that anybody, that any agent in La Republique exalts and praises, praises in a negative way or positive way, that person is a potential danger to the people of Ambazonia. I had one phone of which they sat down and La Republique has made them to forget our culture and our tradition. And I saw people call themselves phones, introducing themselves like primary school children. I am from this, of this place. I am from this, of this place. What a shame. And they put it on social media. Oh my God. What was secret when we were growing up? Today, La Republique has mesmerized and has made these people to look like fools in the presence of their subjects. Tell me, Mr. Fon, when you introduce yourself and you go so low to look like a pupil in a primary school, whom do you think will give you the respect that is due? But let me tell you, this government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has restored the House of Chiefs, and the dignity of the House of Chiefs that was in the 1950s, before La Republic came in the early 60s to try to interrupt us. We have restored it. Our National Assembly, which is the parliament of the Southern Cameroons, that was taking rules, taking laws, propounding laws, bringing the laws and putting them together to be signed, bringing bills to pass, and the president signs into law. They have started. And that's why last year, the year of acceleration, we accelerated and got the name Federal Republic of Ambazonia, signed and put into law and endorsed. And today, this year, 2024, he calls it the year of focus and stability. And we are focusing. There are a few things that have worked for the Ambazonian people last year. And the government emphasized that those things that really, really worked last year should not be packed aside and go to try new methods, while the old methods did work. And some of them, I may not mention them here, but the people that know what happened, they are doing it. Now, La Republique has consistently tried last year, especially towards the last half of last year, to stop the ghost towns, which is our national signal and symbol. That thing shall only be abolished when we are in Ambazonia. But for now, please, ghost towns are going nowhere. They are going nowhere. I heard what happened in Gokutunja on Monday. And the Ambazonian State Army, some of their spokesmen, they came out to tell the colonial oppressors that are still hanging in our land that one of these days, they will see. And I'm told that something happened today, the 10th of January 2024. Unfortunately, blood was shed. And unfortunately, I call it unfortunately, because like I told you, though we are not regretting it, the president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia does not even want La Republique de Cameroon for people's children to die. But unfortunately, the people are dying. So it happened today because they went ahead to violate our ghost town, which is our symbol, which is what our funds were supposed to have kept as our custodian of our culture. But they violated our culture, abandoned their parents' ancestors' seats, and they are now in Yaoundé building the figment of what is supposed to be. It's just like when the physical Jerusalem was defeated, where the temple that was the temple of worshiping God was taken out. The people went around creating synagogues. But Jerusalem was the place at that time before Jesus came that those who were to worship God were to worship in that temple. So what am I saying? I'm saying that the ghost towns, which is meant for sabotage, to make sure that La Republique does not receive anything from Ambazonia, they are going on. And the Ambazonians are here to reinforce that ghost town, that it must continue in this year 2024. That there was a break on the 25th of December and on the 1st of January because they were considered, big days, should not give the advantage for La Republique to think that by that temporal break, the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has completely dealt away with ghost towns. No, sir. No. Now, the economic sabotage that the government had taken, I want to thank God for all the defense and all the strategists of Ambazonia who are doing their best. And please, Ambazonian State Army, make sure you understand that you are no more Gary boys. You are no more people that any individual can just sit down and give you $10 and order you around. No, you are now a government-owned army. And if you are in your LGA and you are working in terms with your LGA, please just note that you are already having a position in the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia because you have been renamed Ambazonia State Army. You are no more a restoration force. No, you are now a state army. And that is what the president announced. I'm not yet getting into his speech. As the days go by, we'll be analyzing the speech. What I'm telling you is history that has just occurred. That last year, when he said a year of acceleration, we saw how we accelerated. And we saw what God did. Because some of the foxes that spoiled the vine were still hanging around. And God is still in the mood of searching them out. So if you are somewhere and you are still hiding in this government with a plot and with a plan to make sure that we don't get to Boya, sorry, sir. Madam, sorry, you have missed it because this is not a battle by man. This is a battle by God. Yes, there are a lot of people who have fears of one thing or the other, but we who have trusted in God, we don't have any fear. That's why this year, January 2024, the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, as I did explain at the beginning, has decided to call on all Ambazonians to come together and pray to the God of spiritual Israel, not the God of the Israel where Netanyahu is the prime minister and whoever. No. The God we are praying to is not that God. I've heard a lot of people who come out here and try to mock our God and say, oh, you people are praying to a God called the God of Israel, and that is Israel there that is killing people and blah, 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 blah. No, sir, you are mistaken. That is, you are carnal. You are not in the spirit. The God of Israel that Ambazonians are praying to is the spiritual Israel. And the spiritual Israel are the children of God who became God's children through Jesus Christ. As many as received him, to them he gave the power to become the sons of God, even those who believe on his name. My dear friend, I want to challenge you. If you are an Ambazonian and you have not yet perceived, you have not yet understood what it means to be a child of Abraham, to be an Israelite in the spirit, I want to challenge you that if you are still out there perambulating, just moving around, just going from one corner to the other, don't actually know, like you are just like a butterfly that is following light. No, structures have been put in place by this government. Remember, I told you when we were interim, La Republique had the opportunity to pollute us. And they started pointing fingers. Oh, see how confused they are. Oh, see how they hate themselves. Oh, see how they are fighting. But they are the ones who came in. They came in with a lot of fake promises. They came in with illusions. And so many gullible Ambazonians who do not have the community and their fellow Ambazonians at heart were quickly bought over. Some of them who started this fight, today they are standing in the middle of the road. They have decided to become neutral. And unfortunately, there is no neutrality. You are either for or against. And as our president quoted, if you know how to do good and you do not do the good, you are wicked. And so many people of whose complete loyalty and nationality of Ambazonian origin is doubted. Remember I said, we are focusing. So we don't want to go here and touch here and touch here. I know that many of you listen to many things. And when you listen, you come back confused. But there's one thing which has marked this government. And what is that has marked this government? What has marked this government is action. Action. And when this government says we are going to take action, they take action. But meanwhile, there's so many infiltrators that La Republique has sent in to come into our midst. They come in with a plurality of leadership. We are leaders. And when they say they are leaders, because La Republique knows that once you become a full government, and what the world knows as a government is, number one, a people that have a land with their boundaries. Unfortunately, Ambazonia has that. A people that has a population. Ambazonia has the population. A people who are organized in their governmental functions. And Ambazonia happens to have the governmental functions. A governmental function for a people is basically divided into three main headings or three main departments. And these departments form the rest of the leadership of that county. And Ambazonia happens to have had it. And that is the legislation, the legislative, that is the executive, and that is the judicial. Now, the executive is fully working. The legislative is fully working. Now, the judicial is fully working. Now, you ask me, where is the judicial fully working? They are all working in anticipation. And if you are not there, you will not know that they are there. We have the Attorney General, who is deputizing for the Ambazonian people. And of course, we have the President of the National Assembly of Ambazonia. And of course, we have the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia with all their vices. The Vice President is there, the Vice Speaker is there. And I mean, just everything that you can think about, Ambazonia House has. And of course, their stolen independence. Stolen in the sense that the people who played the Mago, they are now very ashamed because they have been waiting for La Republique du Cameroon to deliver the goods of making them to know that we are one and indivisible. But 2010 proved that we are not one and indivisible, that we are two that agreed to come together, and we did not come together. And because we did not come together, our distinctive countries are well demarked. Our cultures, our traditions, and everything is well defined. And only those who are liars can try to lie. There are some people who even lie about the light. Oh, the light is not shining. Even blind people, they know that if you visit them and it is dark, they put on light. They're not putting on the light for themselves. They're putting a light for you because you can see. And so La Republique, who thinks that everybody is still in the 17th century, comes out there to lie. I may not know how to analyze because our legal minds and our professionals have sat down to analyze the speech of their, I don't know how to call him, their dead living president, who comes out to vomit a lot of lies every now and then, the same thing. And the people there are sitting down and look at the zombie, and they are sitting down with their hands folded. What a shame in the modern society, in today's day, that young men and women who can reason not only for themselves, but for other people cannot be given the opportunity. And then people who cannot even reason for themselves, sometimes they pee in their pants. They are being helped to walk into a place where they are going to talk. Talk to who? And what are they talking? What a shame. What a shame. Ambazonians will not be like that because Ambazonia has decided to take a route that many a nation has not taken. And again, Ambazonia has decided to take a route with God. They have decided to take a route with God. And that is why God is fighting. And as he is fighting, the people of the world are in great amazement that 2/3, no, 1/4 of a nation that they call their nation is resisting 8 people, one person resisting 4. If you want to go by the real mathematics, 1 Ambazonia is equals to 4 La Republicans, 4 La Republiques. And if these Ambazonians are fighting and fighting for the past years with 8 La Republique standing to fight 2 Ambazonians, and they cannot defeat the 2, there are 8 of them, they cannot defeat the 2, then what logic will you tell me? You want to call it a magic? It's not magic, it's a miracle. And we, the people of God, we don't hide it. It's because Ambazonia has dedicated to the spiritual God of Israel, to the spiritual Israel, not the physical Israel. That's why we don't send gifts. We don't beg the people of Israel. We don't go to the bee to come and help us. No, we don't go to them to come and help us. And any country that has gone to the bee, to Israel, to come and help them physically, the recuperation, how do you call it? Well, the revenge and the backfiring shall be too much, because you shall pay for it. Yes. Either in this life or in the life to come, you shall pay for it, because you have missed the mark. And anybody who misses the mark because he's trusting in the synagogue of Satan, what does the name Jesus called? This present Israel, who have rejected him. He said they say they are Jews, but they are not. They are the synagogue of Satan. You know what Satan does? You know what the synagogue of Satan means? In our next episode, I'll bring in somebody who is going to reveal to you the meaning of the synagogue of Satan. And those who are rushing to get the Jewish people from Israel to come and help them, let them know exactly where they are going, because it is going to be catastrophic. The repercussion of what they are now doing is going to down on them. That's why we, the people of Ambazonia, because we know our God, we shall do exploits. And that's why we are not very much worried. Let La Republic and their operators and their contractors and their coopers, let them go up and down, make all kinds of noises. We don't have time to be wasting in talking about the fakeness of whatever they are doing. No. I'll be coming back to share a bit on our president's speech, and I'll really focus on some of the progress that we have determined to do. But I'll be very careful, because I know that there are lobbyists for La Republic that they are listening for us to come and reveal some of the things that are going on, so that I can zero in on it. We shall be very cautious. I'm very careful not to let you know. But we shall tell the Ambazonian people that we are progressing. And so if you are an Ambazonian, we have two areas for you to cooperate with us. And that is where the focus will really work out. Two areas of cooperation. One is intellectual cooperation, which means that we will need you to give us your intelligence, your strategies on how we can continue to keep La Republic at base, right down there as they are today. We will need that cooperation. And I know that there are so many Ambazonians that are well versed and they have insight on how to deal with crooks like the coopers, the contractors of La Republic who are amongst us, and of course La Republic itself. I said there are only two things. The first is this group of people, your intellectual cooperation for strategically reaching out to make sure that Ambazonia stand on its own. We need you. The second group of people we need are those who have just what we call a widow's mite. Don't undermine anything that you can supply as finances for this battle, for this fight. Yes, to go on. We do not have all the money that the Republic has stolen from us to pay because they have 3 lobbyists in Washington alone. We don't know how many of them they have around the world, but that does not frighten us. It does not. Let them have 10. It doesn't frighten us, because we know that he who has the whole world is on our side. And the delay we are now having is just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. And then we shall be there. So we are not very much, we need lobbyists, but we are not very much depending on lobbyists. If we have the lobbyists, we don't have the finances to take and give to these fellows. You know, what we need is your intellect, and what we need is your financial support. We have the aid, Ambazonian independent dues. Ambazonian independent dues. With your contribution into this purse for the Ambazonian independent dues, it will go a long way to do a lot of things for the Ambazonian people. And then we have the ABC Amba TV, what you are listening now. We don't just go there as Ambazonian people and shout our name, and the satellite company say, okay, since you're Ambazonian, take it for free. No, we pay. And we are not paying with money that we have stolen from La Republique, although they are stealing our money. We pay by our personal sacrifices to prove to the world that Ambazonia, when it shall be in its homeland, we shall first of all take care of the community and not ourselves. And that's why you find Ambazonians sacrificing. They are not being paid. They are not working for money. They are working for the community. You see that they are very zealous with no pay. Because what Ambazonians are doing, they are doing it to make sure that humanity is set free. And if you can work for the freedom of humanity without a paycheck, then tell me how it will be when a paycheck is added to your activities. I'm sure you should blow the skies. But I want to drop my cap for all the Ambazonians in the different departments who have no payment at all, but they are putting in all their efforts to make sure that homeland is free. Now, Ambazonians, I want to let you know that all the army, Ambazonian State Army that our president just announced, they will now depend on us. We need to send them stipends, so they should stop the game of kidnapping as they have seen the contractors of La Republique doing. Some people have gone there to imitate and do like others are doing. And where are they? They are all gone. So I want to tell the Ambazonian State Army that you are now a state army, and the state army only works at the orders of their master. And working at the orders of their masters, you need to work with a clear head. So if you were drugged and you were taking him to kidnap with impunity and to kill your fellow people, note that the era has passed. And when you are saved, you will live to enjoy. Because there are people who will fight in this fight and they will get into Boya and they will enjoy. But there are people who will fight in this fight and they will not get into Boya. You know, one of the easiest ways of not getting into Boya, go harassing the community in which you are living. Go kidnapping the people in the community in which you are living. Go back to DDR and come out to go and hunt for Ambazonians who are still really standing to free themselves. Your days are numbered, because that is the quickest way of the enemy to take you out. We have told you time and time and time again that La République du Cameroon has a method of operation. When they have dealt with you and you have worked for them so much, you know how they pay you back? You are dead. When they discover that you are now useless, what they wanted to get from you, betray your people, kill your people, destroy your people. Once you have done that, they take you out, as they took Frundi out. In order as they took Frundi out, as they took many of them. Of course, not only Frundi. You know that they took Ahidjo out when Ahidjo had done his best. France now brought in Paul Biya and told Paul Biya to take him out. So you, Ambazonian, when you are deceived to go and join Unity Warriors, Ayabache is there. All the other people are there. When they see that you are sincere to go to Boya, they will quickly take you out. And that's why we are crying a number of our men and women who have been taken out unawares that they went into the lion's den. You were a goat, a sheep, and the lion deceived you because he thinks the king of the forest. Come, let's discuss. And stupidly you went there, and before you realize, a bullet from your own very neighbor struck you and you are gone. Please be loyal to your LGA. Be loyal to your county. Stop being a private militia to want somebody out there who calls himself a leader and has nothing to show. His leadership is only to come on the social media and blow grammar without any care and concern. This government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has clearly proven to the world that they are a government. The Department of Home Services, Health and Social Services has proven to the world that they are a government. Taking care of the widows, taking care of the wounded, taking care of the prisoners, taking care of the abandoned, and so on. And then the Department of Women's Social and Women Affairs has also stepped in, and they are doing everything possible to make sure that they actually help the Ambazonian people to go to where they're supposed to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is actually on the move, and we will want to crave your indulgence to join the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Those of you who followed contractors who told lies and exaggerated, and today they have nowhere, I want you to know that God knows your name. Come back to the good books. And when you come back to the good books, you will give a testimony. Your LGA is there, your county is there, the federal government is there. You can come back after you have looked around. Nobody will shame you. Just come back and we will run together. Dear friends, it is at this juncture that our Amba history will end today. But I want to encourage you, stay tuned to our programs on ABC. You will be given the best that you need to know and how we can run and work together. God bless you, the people of Ambazonia. And remember, He knows your name. And because He knows your name, let's go. Thank you.
Almighty Father, Papa, now you love me so, and you know my name. I give you glory, Abba Father. You know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. You know my name, oh Daddy, yeah. You know me, you know my name. I can see your hand in my life. Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my
Sovereign silhouette, the emblem of Ambazonia. From the azure embrace of the Atlantic reflecting from the Ambas Bay, The iconic Fako Mountain ascends with a silent, stoic grace, carving a silhouette against the sky. This towering sentinel is more than a geographical marvel. It is the heart of Southern Cameroons, the stoic guardian